We can't have a true democracy unless all segments of our society have access to justice.
Regardless of religious or social justice perspectives, I think that everybody agrees on one principle, which is that regardless of wherewithal to pay, people are entitled to justice.
You start to deal with the fundamental issues of housing and safety and education, and suddenly you have people who are employable, and it levels the playing field by dealing with those legal issues for people who wouldn't otherwise have anywhere else to go.
We all have legal rights. The role we fill is to help individuals utilize their legal rights.
I don't think the community really realizes how many people cannot afford legal services, yet they are affected by the legal system.
Sometimes people ask me, how's work going? Is it busy? And really the answer for legal aid is there will always be more demand than we can serve.
We get to learn really what's happening, what people are facing, how the economic conditions impact everybody in our city.
Legal aid is important to United Way and other funders because we have consumers who are in need of housing, and it doesn't make sense for people who currently have housing to lose it when we have a resource like the Legal Aid Society who can assist people who are being threatened with eviction or foreclosure.
My husband was working and I've been retired. You know, work got slow and we got behind in our house payments. And we tried to work things out with the bank, and of course they didn't want to hear tell of it. If we didn't have legal aid, we would have foreclosed on our home.
Single dad, depending on the system for welfare and lifeline support. My older son had got a job, was going to move out and get going, and he then moved back in, and I was being accused of not reporting him being in or out. I thought I was doing the right thing, and I was happy for him to get a job, and then it just all snowballed and they were charging me with welfare fraud.
Receiving public benefits is a complicated matter, even for the workers and the agencies that administer the programs, and so it's considered to be highly specialized.
He was awesome from the first phone call. He just picked me up from there, as far as my spirit. And in the end, he saved the day and inspired us to restart.
It gives you such great satisfaction to help somebody. And that's what's kept me here all these years, being able to make people whole again.
I've had a long personal relationship with the Legal Aid Society. People who otherwise would not be able to cope with the system. They give them an opportunity to know when they walk into court that they have quality representation, that they're equal before the law.
What we're talking about here are basic human rights: shelter, safety, health care. The people that come to legal aid for assistance have those basic human needs at risk.
The power of legal aid is it removes the issue. It allows you to see your life in a different place, in a different way, and allows you to make some changes in your life. And through those changes, you're suddenly empowered to find a way to be a different member of your community.
Cody is my nephew. It started off with Cody's always late to class, Cody isn't completing his homework, Cody's goofing off. He was facing expulsion, and I didn't know there were laws in place to assist a child like Cody. Legal Aid went with us to the expulsion hearing. She then filed a motion saying that he had been denied his rights as a student, that this is a child who has special education needs. Had it not been for legal aid, not only educating me, but also educating Cody, he could have well been a statistic. All of my hard work, crying, screaming, going crazy paid off, and he graduated.
the goal is to allow people to be independent, productive members of society, allow people to work through their existing issues and troubles and to get back on their feet and to be able to stand on their own.
I came to Legal Aid in about '95. I was a single mom, or soon-to-be single mom with 2 children. My kids and I were at risk, and we needed help finding a way out. When I walked into Legal Aid that day, I was terrified, and I felt trapped. And what I got out of Legal Aid was a sense of empowerment and a sense of hope. I often speak of my experience at Legal Aid as a pivot point. It was the first time in my life where I really felt like somebody was pushing me to be a better me, and could see that there was something underneath all of the issues in my life that could be used for good. I knew that someday after law school, no matter where I ended up working, that I wanted to be involved with this agency, and it was finally showing my kids that you can set a goal, and regardless of where you start, you can end up in a very different place.
We measure the success of our work. We look at not only the legal outcomes, but also the financial impact our work has on the community. To the extent we have more resources, we can make a bigger difference in the lives of more people.
This is an organization where you can see what your money does, and where the results of your donations are walking around in the community, and where the results of your donations will in turn lead to a community that's a better Cleveland.